Sounds like a show start to me. I don't know about y'all, but welcome once again to the Paranormal Portal as we dive once again into the Paranormal Portal. I'm your host, Brent Thomas, and we have a fun-filled adventure in store for you guys, as always. And by we, I don't just mean me and the many voices in my head. I mean, that's not one of the voices in my head, because I can hear that in my earphones. Jesus. Yeah, that's definitely not me. I need to welcome to the show once again my good friend and co-host, the Big Toe himself, Mr. Don Longbeard. How you doing, brother? What the hell? Oh, is that a bong? Don's hitting the bong over there. Not even sure what that was. He got a water bottle. Somehow he converted it into a pipe in mere moments. Guy's a whiz.
Wow. So, yeah, did you know I only know 25 letters?
Okay.
I don't know why.
Ooh, I see what you did there. We're just starting off a little early with the flat tire, aren't we? Yeah, exactly. No, it's not a tire. It's a sound of applause.
Well, that's like, 10 plus 10 is the same as 11 plus 11.
Huh?
10 plus 10 is the same as 11 plus 11.
Is this Common Core or something? What are you doing?
10 plus 10 is 20.
Yeah.
11 plus 11 is 22.
Ah. Yeah.
See, dad jokes actually are good because they teach critical thinking, inference, and it's good for you.
It is. Annie Manule says nonsense.
Yep,
it's all a bunch of nonsense. Yep. Hi, Marstall. Who's Marstall?
I don't know, but Deb says she wants me to share with her.
Share what? Don's going to pass his bottle.
Just pass his right on through.
He's battle bung. I don't know what the hell's going on. We don't advocate chemical use here on the show.
That's not chemicals.
Well, that's true. It's an herbal thing, isn't it?
It is. Yes, it is.
Where's Marstall? What is it? What am I missing here? People are saying hi to Marstall. Hi, okay. Marstall. Is there somebody in here named Marstall that I'm not seeing? Why am I not seeing it? I just scrolled up and I was like, who's Marstall?
I'm not wearing my
there it is.
Anyhow.
Marstall. Hello, everybody. Hello to you. Thank you for coming in and being a part of the journey, as always. We always love meeting new faces, unless you're a rebrand of somebody that's already been here. We sometimes get those, too. People coming in with new names all the time.
Well, I tell you one name I'd love to see again.
Well, what's that?
Galactic Pixie.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be cool.
That would be cool. But, yeah. I'm not sure what's going on there, but that's been several years.
Oh, that's been several years.
Yeah, but yeah, we used to have this regular listener and follower went by the chat name of Galactic Pixie, and she was a wonderful friend of ours, and then she just disappeared, and we're not sure what happened or what's going on, but it's maybe the shelf life of the portal just staled in her world, or maybe life happened, and God bless her wherever she is. But all right, here we go. We're gonna dive into a whole bunch more of the paranormal. We got the news coming up, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, that's one of the big events at the beginning of every show, where we talk about some news articles and hopefully teach you something or bring you up to speed on something you already didn't know. And
teach us something.
Teach you something.
Right.
Well, teach you what to avoid, or teach you how good it is to be in our own little world here. I don't know. Sometimes this news is really tragic, but
it is sometimes, yeah. Especially when you're talking about like gene splicing and
CRISPR technology. Unless they're making dinosaurs, that's cool. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, because like Jurassic Park couldn't be a thing.
Well, it could be, but I still, it'd be kind of cool to like open your door and there's a brontosaurus out there chewing on your tree.
Kind of like the moose that was standing out there that one night.
Yeah, that was almost a brontosaurus.
It was almost a brontosaurus.
It was a brontosaurus in your pants.
See, dad jokes, they make you think.
That was pretty quick, though. I got to give you credit on that one. A brontosaurus. I think I flushed a few of those. Thank God they go down the pipes fine.
Too bad you didn't actually hear what I actually said. Brown asses.
Why do you have to say it again?
Because it's fun. You guys got to get it. guys got to laugh with me.
That's a scary place
As
sometimes.
long as you're not laughing at me, that's fine.
Hey, Brent, finally catching you on your channel. Thank you,
Sweet.
Steph. Good to see you. Steph, of course, is
Steffi.
one of the regulars over on Hometown Ghost Stories, and she was there.
Oh.
She was over there last night,
Nice.
and it's wonderful to see you. Thank you so much for coming in. Welcome to our home. Hopefully you find it enjoyable, and maybe stick around when you can be.
Slightly ludicrous.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's used to Hometown Ghost Stories, so
Right? Well, okay, fine.
should fit right in here.
I digress.
I'm just saying.
Going backwards now.
It's not like that's Ivy League. I love those guys. They're wonderful, but they are our people for sure.
They are our people.
Yeah. Oh, Rob and Jesse and Dave are great guys. I had a great time on the show with them last
Nice.
night. We just laugh a lot, just like we do here. So we like to have a good time with this stuff. This stuff is already dark and sinister enough on its own, so we don't have to add the theatrics.
Oh no, Rachel.
What?
Gosh.
What did she do?
Rachel says, well, they've given chicken teeth. Now the scientists need to give them hands so we can actually have actual chicken fingers.
Oh dear God, that's a little dark, Rachel.
It is Rachel. She's one of those.
Well, she's Canadian.
That is not bacon.
I think they'll eat anything up there. No, I'm just kidding.
Chicken fingers? Sure, why not?
No, I've had chicken fingers. They're fine.
trotters.
Fine little things.
Ouch.
But anyway, we're going to get to the news next. So let's dive into some news and see what
Donos.
we can teach you, or what
Or what-
what we can. I don't know how bad of a train wreck it can become. So let's get to it, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for
Brown chicken Bronco.
the news.
Big one.
Finger clucking good, Annie says. I think we're on a chicken thing here, aren't we?
Andy Manuel says KFC was invented in Canada. Is that Kentucky Fried Canadian?
What part of Canada is in Kentucky? I don't think that's how that works. I'm just saying.
Don't say that. No, don't say that. Aussie Tiger says HTGS is here is just like HTGS, just without the swear words.
Don sometimes screws that up though, so
Yeah, it's just
his filter's sometimes a little askew. But we try to keep it family friendly because we do have all ages here, and well, at least allegedly. We don't know if they're being honest, but
right.
they could be normally adults.
Oh man, now they're talking about KFC, and I want KFC. We don't have a KFC up here.
No, but you know it's good, just
KFC?
as a local thing. Super One's chicken is really good. I
Oh
love
God,
that.
no, that stuff just runs right through me. It's just horrible.
You're supposed to chew it, Don.
Yeah, well,
Don's eating chicken like an anaconda.
unhinging the jaw.
If you chew it, it's
It's the you take the chicken skin, right? You get the extra crispy chicken skin. Then you take that coleslaw and put it right in the chicken skin,
This isn't the Food Network.
and then you roll that up like a little burrito.
Okay. Yep. Good deal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the news, which is
I wish we had KFC buffets. Oh.
okay. All right, Don. Back to it. Back to us. Back to us. Back to the paranormal news. All right, so we're going to start out the news with a wonderful site, and again, any sites that we use on this show, please support them. Go give them traffic. Go visit them because traffic equals revenue, and it costs a lot to run these sites, and they do a wonderful job. So please support them. Please, visit them and let them know we sent you.
Focus. I'm being told focus by a Brit in Australia. I'm supposed to focus.
She says, "Good day, wanker."
Yeah, that's basically what she said. It's all those the inference kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so unexplained-mysteries.com is the first site we're going to visit tonight, and we're going to dig into the first bit of news. You knew it was only a matter of time, but it's here, ladies and gentlemen. It's here because now, according to unexplained-mysteries.com, there's a U.S. firm that's now selling robot dogs equipped with a flamethrower.
Nice.
Yeah, it was bound to happen.
Nice.
There you have it.
Can I have two, please?
I'm waiting for the railgun version.
Oh, that's not Boston. That's not Boston.
Well, it's basically their design, though. I don't know if they're the ones.
Yeah.
Ohio-based company Throwflame.
Throwflame.
Boy, they had a big conference to come up with that name.
Wow.
What do we call it? Throwflame.
It must be like Norwegian or something.
Why do you ask? Stupid question. All right, Ohio-based company Throwflame is now selling its terrifying therminator. They call it the Therminator.
Oh my god.
Robot with a flamethrower. Because who doesn't need one of those? Yeah, I can't see that ever going sideways. Oh, jeez, the button's stuck, honey.
Fire in the hole.
Yeah. This is definitely an outside toy. Just for the record, this is an outside toy. While it's easy to imagine purchasing a robot capable of helping out around the home, carrying heavy loads, or completing mundane tasks, one firm in Ohio has just brought out a robot that is definitely more like the Terminator than it is the Bicentennial Man. The quadrupedal contraption dubbed Therminator is essentially a robotic dog equipped with a fully functional flamethrower.
Right on.
Capable of spewing out a 30-foot jet of flame.
Oh, wow.
What do they need 30 feet of flame for?
Have you ever seen an actual flamethrower throw flame?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I've seen that old World War II footage, but that was like petroleum jelly.
Yeah, well,
I mean, that
like
was just
more like white phosphorus.
Yeah. What's more, you can actually buy one for the pricely sum of $9,420.
Is that it?
I guess so. They're going cheap.
I'll put it on my credit card.
The device is apparently legal everywhere in the United States except in Maryland.
Yes, I don't live in that suck town, suck state. Bring them to Idaho.
I will just say, so far.
We'll mass produce them.
I'll bet you that's going to get illegal real quick. When you got robots for flamethrowers.
You can own tanks in Idaho.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Interestingly, Throwflame doesn't actually market a robot as a weapon.
Of course not.
What is it for? Stripping paint?
No, it's rodent vermin.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Because you should lob flames at vermin.
Sounds awesome.
All right. For many, however, it's likely the Terminator will be picked as more of a toy than a tool.
It's the Verminator. See?
Yeah. That's a Terminator.
Oh.
The robot is actually capable of operating autonomously, which could spark some renewed debate about autonomous weapon systems, but it can also be manually controlled using a smartphone. No, honest, officer, I didn't push the button. You can check it out in action in the video below. Well, we should probably look at that, don't you think?
I lost connection. How about you?
So far, so good.
Okay, cool. It's
Yeah.
just me.
Just you. So far, so good. Yeah, everything's showing green. We're in good shape here. You all still with us? Yeah.
Yeah,
Chat's still
sure
rolling.
they are.
All right. So let's look at the video. Why not?
Roll that bean footage.
All right. I'm not doing the sound, but this is from Throwflame. It's their actual video. Yeah, we're not doing the music. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, and
that's the gyroscope on it.
yeah, it's a hand warmer. That's what it is.
It's a hand warmer.
It's a tent warmer for winter camping.
Come here, Fifi.
Oh, look at it. It's got a laser.
Oh, nice.
And a flashlight. There you
Well,
keep.
yeah.
You should probably know where you're throwing your. And they got burning ground in the background.
Of course they do.
That's
They just
not
lit it on
diabolical. That was beta test 1. Wow, look at that. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Terminator.
Come on, let's
The
see
Terminator.
some flames. Come on, 30 footers.
Yeah, I'm great with the flashlight, but let's see the fire.
Knights of the Blue Flame.
Knights. Oh, here it's coming. Here comes the flame. Let's click ahead. Oh, there it goes. Boom, baby.
Did it just bend over?
It's like it lays a deuce and throws flames at the same time.
Oh my.
Yeah, everyone should have one of those.
Oh,
it jumped and
nice.
flamed. That's crazy.
Yeah.
every family should probably have 2 or 3.
I agree.
Yes, of course you do, you twisted soul. Wonder what it's shooting out. Do you think it's like alcohol?
I wonder what it's. I wonder what it's made out of, and if it's like.
That's nightmare fuel.
Huge.
That's nightmare fuel, but it must be flame retardant, whatever it is.
Flame retarded, yes.
Retardant.
That's what I said.
That's not what it sounded like, oddly enough.
Words in my mouth.
Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's the Therminator. I bet you didn't know about that before today. You're welcome. I'm just putting that out there. What the hell?
No, I have nothing.
Yeah. No, robots won't turn evil.
No.
Just slap some AI on that and we'll see what happens.
It's all about the 3 laws. It's all about the 3 laws.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a scary future, dude. That is a little frightening. I just don't know what you'd need that for. It's cool. It's cool.
Bunker defense.
Bunker defense.
Or bunker assault.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
Hey, send the robotic dog with the flamethrower.
Send the robotic dog in the air holes. All right, there you have it, folks. That was first off on the news, and can you not appreciate the scope and presence of our newscast? It's second to none, I'm thinking. All right, it should be called BNN. That's all I'm saying.
BNN.
The Brent News Network. Oh. Whoa! All right.
Oh, brother.
All right, next up on our news festival of fun here on the portal is from unexplained-mysteries.com. Scientists find new evidence of the mysterious Planet 9. Think that's Nibiru, Don?
It's a good possibility.
Could be, right? Let's see what they say. This is from April 24th, 2024.
I can't connect.
I thought you really can't, huh?
Yeah, I can't get on. Is it 4 or 5?
Either one, same password. 4 is probably a stronger signal.
That one once, yeah. No, I can't connect.
Huh. You sure you didn't hit your Wi-Fi button by accident or something?
It's on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Don is dead in the water.
Technically challenged.
All right, so let's find out about Planet 9 here because that sounds interesting. A team of planetary scientists has found new evidence of an undiscovered planet in the outer solar system. Is that you?
No. That's you.
Oh, that's my computer's churning some big fanage.
You're hot over there.
You know that's right. You know that's right. Yeah, that's my graphics card is really spitting it out. I don't know.
Well, I mean the tab farm you got going on.
Yeah, well there is that. let me close this. I don't need that open. Maybe that'll take off some.
Oh look, that took off 30 tabs. Go
no, that was Skype.
Oh well, yeah, that's about a piece of garbage.
All right, so let's find out. Nobody knows exactly where it is or how big it is or even if it exists at all. But when researchers at the California Institute of Technology revealed that in 2016 that the existence of a 9th planet in our solar system was a very real possibility, the hunt for this enigmatic new world began in earnest. Believed to be up to 10 times the mass of the Earth with an orbital period of up to 20,000 years. Doesn't that kind of sound like Nibiru?
Sounds like my ex-girlfriend.
Oh, dear God.
Sorry.
I'm not saying she was big, but it took 20 grand years to orbit.
I was just thinking about the period.
Oh. Okay. All right. Okay, so if it exists, it will be situated somewhere beyond the orbit of Neptune.
Or somewhere around Uranus.
There's a lot around Uranus, apparently. Finding it, however, is like looking for a tiny fraction of a needle in a very big haystack. The most recently discovered evidence in support of its existence comes courtesy of a small international team of planetary scientists who conducted a study that involved tracking the movements of long-period objects that cross the that crossed the orbit of Neptune and exhibited certain irregularities. Yeah, this is going downhill fast. This just, The circular pattern when you get near the drain. That's what we're in right now. By using a computer simulation and taking into account various possible scenarios, they were able to determine that a large planet in the outer solar was the most likely cause of the irregularities. This isn't going to get easier. While the research did not provide a way to locate this mysterious planet, and there is a chance that the findings could be explained by way of other unknown forces not accounted for, the study does seem to bring the possibility of Planet 9 back into contention once again. As things stand, however, only... Now you're pissing off the spirits too, Don. Jesus. As things stand, however, only by directly observing this enigmatic world will we ever be able to say for absolutely certain that it actually exists. Well, there you go. Might be a Planet 9 out there, folks, but I would say Planet 10 because Pluto's still a planet. I don't care what they say.
There you go. Thank you.
Neil deGrasse Tyson can kiss Uranus.
Oh, my gosh. Why mine?
Well, it's just a planet. Oh. Didn't actually mean yours, but anyway.
Oh, good God.
We should explore the seventh planet more. Our reach should exceed our grasp. Or what's Uranus for? Well, I'm going to leave that alone, Rachel. I'm not going in that category.
I can't even read the chat because I can't get online.
That might be good, though, actually. Or bad. I'm not sure how this is going to work out, ladies and gentlemen. But Don being technically crippled might be okay. There's less spreadage of his brokenness. I don't know. Paranormal Portal Wednesdays are the best with Brett. Who the hell's Brett? And the wacky woolly mammoth.
Oh, Jesus. I was wondering if that was our friend Ronnie LeBlanc there for a minute.
No, that would have been Brad. If he called me Brad, that would have been Ronnie LeBlanc. Yeah, Jesse, good to see you, brother. But it's Brent. But we love you anyway, brother. Don't worry, I screw up names all the time. I can't really cast stones because I'm in a glass mansion, in figuratively. All right, so let's get to the next one because there's more. There is more. All right.
I'm searching hard for an unsecured Wi-Fi. Hold on.
I'm just surprised you can't get to mine.
Yeah, I can't get
Did it dump the passwords or something?
No. It's
Are
still,
they there?
This one's still got the password, but the other one doesn't. So this one's trying to connect. Huh. I was connected. This one, though, it wants security key. But, gosh.
Oh.
This sucks.
Oh, we got membership gifts. Who did this?
Somebody gifted?
Maggie gifted 5 memberships.
Nice.
Level Portal Peeps. Oh, thank you, Maggie. RJ got one. Aussie got one. John Temprin got one. Kat Doherty got one. And Luke Griffin got one. Nice. Very cool. Thank you very much, Maggie. That was very sweet. Maybe Don could set up his phone to YouTube.
Why didn't I think of that?
To see the chat.
Duh.
Speaking of technically challenged.
Oh, goodness.
Wow, that's very sweet, Maggie. Thank you so much. That's very kind.
Yes. That's
Got a lot of green floating up in here. That's all I'm saying. All right, so thank you. You're welcome, Kat, from Maggie. I'm just passing it on. I knew Maggie was thinking it, so because Maggie's been with us long enough that we know what she thinks usually. All right, let's get to the next one, and this will be the last one on our News Fest tonight because God only knows we've been in a deep way here. All right, I might have to actually clean out my tower. I'm sure there's like dust bunnies the size of the actual openings. All right, next up, unexplained-mysteries.com brings us to the last article for tonight. Here you go. Is time an illusion? This might be a big article.
If I could hold time.
Is time an illusion?
Bottle.
And we're going to just decide that yes, it is and skip that one because it's long.
Is it that big?
It's pretty long.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a lot of words there.
Yeah.
I think time is an illusion, but it's not really an illusion. It's just an awareness. It's our awareness going through our observance of the universe around us. We consider that as time, but I don't think it is. I don't think it's actually a ticking clock, so to speak. It's just our awareness. Otherwise, why would time fly, or why does some days drag? You know, it's kind of cosmetic, but yeah, it's just a man-made construction, I'm sure. All right. Anyway, let's skip that one because yeah, it's an illusion. Time's an illusion. That's it. The end. Let's go to one more. Then here we go. This one's kind of interesting. This is from Extraterrestrial category on unexplained-mysteries.com. And this one says, SETI Institute Chief. What did I just do? There we go. SETI Institute Chief offers his views on UFOs and alien visitors. Well, it's kind of interesting. What does he have to say? SETI's Bill Diamond. What a nice name.
Yeah, I know.
What's your name, Bill Diamond? You related to Neil? Is not particularly convinced that we've ever been visited by members of alien civilization. He's an idiot. All right, let's go on. If there's one organization that you would expect to be pretty open about the possibilities of extraterrestrials. Yeah, no kidding. Well, I got one. Of extraterrestrials visiting the Earth, it's SETI, the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. Well, I guess they're searching, so at least they got an open mind, maybe. While the Institute has spent decades scouring the heavens for signs of alien signals, its current president and chief executive officer, Bill Diamond, seems less than enthusiastic about the idea that members of an advanced alien civilization have ever visited our planet.
Hasn't he seen, what is the alien, that last alien movie? Alien Pro...
I'm glad you stopped at pro instead of probe. I don't know. You come up with a name.
That's over there by Planet 9.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have any evidence of any credible source that would indicate the presence of alien technology in our skies, he told Space.com, and we never have. The idea that the government is keeping something like this secret is just totally absurd.
Oh, God.
Or really. Okay.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do that officially.
There you go.
There's no motivation to do so. Oh, what? Boy, this guy's working with bricks.
And he works with SETI?
Yeah, I mean, does he not know what the military
is that why we still haven't found anything? Is he's holding everybody back?
It's because they're looking.
I have a very low opinion of Mr. Bill Diamond.
Yeah, my opinion has faltered greatly too. Not that he needs to believe, but don't say there's no motivation. If any government gets a hold of advanced technology, of course they're hiding it.
I mean, has he ever talked to Paul Hellyer, the Canadian?
Well, nobody talks to Paul Hellyer anymore. but yeah, no, probably not. Or Stephen Greer for that matter. You know, I mean, my God, there's so many.
CE5.
And what the hell's flying out in the ocean, buzzing the Navy?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if there's nothing to see here, folks, well, then somebody's way ahead of us here.
Why is somebody always pointing the finger saying, look over there, look over there?
Yeah, exactly.
Have you ever seen that movie, Don't Look Up? Don't.
No, I don't think I did.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
The end was great, but don't watch it.
Okay, if you sent that spacecraft to our... Diamond explained that perhaps the strongest argument against the idea that aliens are visiting us is the vast distances between worlds. Well, how could they ever overcome that? Oh, with advanced technology. This guy's kind of a brick. If you've seen that, sent that spacecraft to our closest neighbor star, Alpha Centauri, it would take 80,000 years to get there. Yeah, when you strap it to a rocket, yeah, that's how long it takes, or even an ion drive. But it's not impossible that they could do extraliminal flight. Sorry, hold on.
You mean like folding space?
Well, no. Yeah, that's the other thing. The Albuquerque drive or whatever.
Right. I'll be curious drive.
All right.
You're right over there. He's almost there. Hold on. I think it's this dry article you're reading.
Well, it's my disgust with Bill Diamond mostly, but Diamond explained that perhaps the strongest argument, that I already read that, any civilization that has mastered the ability to traverse the incomprehensibly vast distances of interstellar space would have technology so far advanced from our own as to be beyond our comprehension. Exactly, Bill.
So he's using the idea that it's beyond our comprehension to prove his point that they've never been here.
That's why he can't comprehend it. Of course, this doesn't rule out the possibility, since any given extraterrestrial civilization may be thousands of years more advanced than us and may have discovered technologies and concepts enabling them to travel much greater distances through space at much greater speeds.
No kidding.
Wow.
Bigger tires, go faster.
Why do people have these? Yeah, tractors must really scream. Why do people have these beliefs? Is it because they want to believe, Diamond added. Well, what are you in this job for, dude? Go pack lunches at a cafeteria.
Go work for the government.
Go wrap sandwiches in the
McDonald's is hiring.
Yeah, you could be putting together Happy Meals all day long. Obviously, you're much more qualified for that.
And they pay $18 an hour.
Yeah, I mean, they're competitive wages.
Exactly.
Come on, Bill. Nobody really wants to think that this Earth is the only place in the vastness of space where life has emerged. Even that idea is kind of absurd. Well,
what the hell is he doing? He's like proving, disproving.
Yeah, he's a whole.
And then he says, "Oh, we couldn't comprehend it anyhow, so I must be right."
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I can't comprehend Bill, so he must not exist.
He's a figment of our imagination.
He's an AI. Yep, exactly. Oh, this is bad.
Uh-oh, what?
Mrs. Portal said the internet is down.
Told ya.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Done.
Well, my phone's still picking us up, so we're good.
True, but Wired is working. Wired is working.
Yeah, if you're hardlined in, yeah, it's probably.
Yeah, I'm hardlined. Yeah, I can't do latency with this, with all this stuff going on. So I have to finish. To finish. Show. Sorry.
Show must go on.
Sorry.
That's what you should have said. If you use two thumbs, it goes faster.
Yeah. Well, no, I gotta hold this.
Kind of like the
I got the closing lid kind, and so I gotta, I mean, I could probably change hands, but I can't do.
So you have the closing lid kind.
Yeah, it's this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your point?
Oh well, I don't know. I still can't type with two thumbs.
He's
terrible.
not all thumbs. He's just one thumb.
Yeah. Anyway, well, there you go, folks.
Planet 9.
This has been the presentation of the Paranormal Portal News. We hope you enjoyed it, and
what a disappointing piece of tripe that last one was.
Yeah, what a waste of.
I bet she's friends with Tom DeLonge.
Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Maybe, but Tom DeLonge grabs other people's material and then makes contract with the army.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, that's what I heard. All right, let's get back to the rest of the show.
Thank God.
Folks, that's it for the news. Hope you enjoyed that and maybe learned something, take some bits of information with you, and can help to build a more robust vision of the future. Or just
not with Bill Diamond in it.
Yeah, no.
God,
Bill can go to hell.
Mad.
Bill can just go to hell.
I'm just mad now. That guy just ticked me off.
Yeah, he's just he's ticking a lot of boxes on his response, which is weird. But anyway, he's in charge of SETI, which is kind of a government deal. So, what do you expect, folks? Nothing to see here, but just talk to the Navy. They're seeing things that they can't explain. So.
Mr. Diamond is what is the SETI from Wish. Oh my.
He's a brick. All right. Anyway, welcome back. We got a lot more show to get to, as always here, folks. The show. We got a show.
Oh.
Show enough.
Show enough.
Yep. Who's the biggest, the baddest mofo low down around this town? Show enough.
Show enough.
Absolutely. I got to figure out what we're gonna do here. What was this? Oh yeah, this is Uparts.
Ooh.
Still got that out. Artifacts. Look at how they spell artifact.
Must be British.
Is that British?
It's fact checked by Bruno Banana.
Well, can't trust Bruno. What can you trust?
We don't talk about Bruno. No.
Don went full Disney. Don went full Disney.
Damn it.
Oh, he played his card. All this heavy death metal and stuff. He's at home watching Encanto when he's not in the portal. Why do I know? Because the Minion watched Encanto, and I had to watch that a bunch.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna read something. I guess I neglected to pull up something to read.
Oh.
So this is an interesting conundrum. But don't worry, folks. We have more. Here you go.
Exactly. Yeah. Perfect.
And on the other side from Bill Diamond, we have this article dealing with the extraterrestrial UFO phenomena. And this is from howandwise.com. And this is a great site as well. Please visit it. Check it out because they have a ton of fantastic articles. And the driving force behind How and Wise is a gentleman by the name of Vicky Verma, and is prolifically publishing articles about UFO and that phenomena. So if you go over to How and Wise, you're going to find pretty much everything UFO that you're looking for. So check it out. This article is kind of flies right in the face of what Mr. Bill Diamond of SETI said. He can SETI the hell down while we get into this.
Please, yeah.
And
here's a brick and a large body of water. Have fun.
Yeah. Here's your life jacket. Your life jacket full of cement in the cement pond. All right. I don't really hold any ill regard towards Bill, but if you don't have an opinion, don't speak. Just and get a new job.
Speak.
Get a job that lines up with your beliefs.
Your beliefs. Yeah, exactly. Like
you have no business
around hamburgers.
Yeah. Hello, welcome to McDonald's. Can I take your order?
I believe I won't have any
of that. Really a small barrier.
Yeah.
All right, but this article is again from How and Wise, and it deals with another great take. Officially, four U.S. intelligence directors hint that UFOs are alien spaceships and believe there are other dimensions.
No way.
Now, this is from July 8th of 2022.
It's been a while.
But it's still relevant because their statements are still valid and they for sure know more than we do as far as officially speaking. Basically about the government's involvement in all this.
Here's a page and a half of we don't know what the hell we're talking about. Enjoy it.
Here's a page and a half of nothing to see here.
Right.
All right. Before disclosing the Pentagon's mysterious UFO program, discussing the UAP phenomena and aliens was not very open. Since the story broke out, many high level, without hesitation, spoke about it. And even some shared their personal encounters. Former officials of the U.S. intelligence, such as R. James Woolsey, John Ratcliffe, Jim Semivin, and John Brennan, Avril Haines, etc., described how the existence of reality all around us, that we are unable to perceive could be a major aspect of the UFO phenomena. Oh, okay, so this is the dimensional talk. The statement UFOs are extraterrestrial and the U.S. government is withholding the fact was said by the first CIA director, Admiral Hillenkotter, and others in higher authority after retiring. And according to the Australian UFO reports, eventually in the past few years, the mystery of UFOs has taken a big move in the history of world ufology. In high proportion, many are standing on with the theory that the unidentified flying objects could be of alien origin.
Wow, that was a stretch of the imagination.
Well, it's not us. I think for the most part, it's not us. Last year, the U.S. government admitted that it could not explain 143 out of the 144 military encounters with mysterious flying objects, including several which appeared to demonstrate extraordinary technology. Former CIA Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe added a surprising context to the military UFO encounters. And according to Ratcliffe, U.S. intelligence analysts have high confidence that foreign adversaries such as China and Russia are not behind the most extraordinary UFO sightings. And in a stark summation of the government's assessment of the phenomena, Ratcliffe stated that some UFOs exhibit technologies that we don't have, and frankly, that we're not capable of defending against.
No kidding. Is that the incomprehensiveness that Mr. Bill Diamond was talking about?
Yeah, exactly. Ratcliffe added, based on those things that we've seen, multiple sensors in other, we've seen multiple sensors. In other words, we're not just people visually see it, but where it's picked up on the radar, where it's seen on satellites. And so, it's an issue of national security. And as the person who is informing policymakers about national security threats, it's not good to say, gosh, we don't have good answers. And so we have to have a larger discussion and try to figure out specifically what this is all about. Here's Jim Semovin, his take via a veteran CIA officer, Jim Semovin, who has expressed personal interest in UFO, UAP issues and cases, joins George Knapp show to, why don't they just say coast to coast, to discuss the CIA's role in the study of UFOs and their own experience, unless it was on his Gaia channels.
Well, but George Knapp and...
Nap, yeah. That's true.
Two different,
I was thinking Nori.
No,
Sorry.
yeah, no. He's been on it several times, but
sure,
we're kind of, we hold with art.
Yeah, art. We're art purists. Although, good Godspeed to all of them. Jim Semovin spent 25 years in the CIA and then joined other former government insiders as part of Tom DeLonge's.
Oh, my God.
And I hate this name, To the Stars Academy.
Yeah, the TTBSA.
It sounds like a talent show. Why the hell would you name your UFO research group To the Stars Academy?
Because he's progressive.
I guess so.
All-inclusive, which is fine, but oh my gosh.
Yeah. He detailed how he was inducted into the CIA and learned spycraft, which takes years to master. The CIA works on a need-to-know principle, so when it came to UFOs, Semovin was not made specifically aware of research on this topic, though CIA analyst Kit Green was known for pursuing the paranormal. Interesting. On Coast to Coast AM, Semovin described his own alien-type encounters that occurred to him and his wife starting in 1990, in which being showed up in their bedroom. Wow. 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 I saw that movie. No, I didn't. I'm not.
You probably did. We were high school kids once. We weren't just high school kids. We were high school boys once.
The incident was authentic and not a hypnagogic or dream state, he stipulated. Semovin said, I think they mentioned that the phenomena is a natural part of our universe, and we're living in it, but we don't recognize it the same way that insects and animals don't recognize the human universe. A cat, dog could be running through a library, but they don't have the faintest idea what the books are all about and what libraries are all about. We might be walking through our existence, and there's a whole other reality that surrounds us that we just simply don't have the ability to see or interact with.
You know what? That's
fair enough.
That's kind of the point of us.
Yeah, that's why we're here. Welcome to the portal. All right, so it seems to be peaking inside our little consensus reality. As I explained to somebody once, it comes close, it teases us, it cajoles us, it lies to us, but you can never take it home to meet the parents. It won't allow you to do that. There's no formal introduction. Add on top that there's no ontology, which I'm not sure what the hell ontology is.
Which is just a fancy word.
Yeah.
It basically means there's no structure to even discuss this.
Which is just a fancy word. It basically means there's no structure to even discuss this.
I was trying to sound smart and you ruined it all.
I thought you sounded brilliant there for a second. What the hell was I thinking? I was like,
where the hell's that come from?
Yeah. Who are you and what have you done with Don? It's the guy that takes the show down the toilet at every chance. And here we are talking about ontology. I was like, huh? We don't have a common lexicon. Somebody said, we have dots, but no connections. Dots? Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't even think that we have dots. Like a dot to dot.
Connecting the dots,
okay. He added, nothing is even close to this. I was privy to some of this stuff, and I can tell you there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that these things are terrestrial or belong to a government. They are other world or other dimension or something other. but they are definitely not ours, and they're not Chinese, and they're not Russian, and everybody in the government knows that. Here's John Brennan. In an interview with ex-CIA Director John Brennan, who presided over the intelligence agency for 4 years from 2013 to 2017, the former chief chimed in on the astonishing UFO videos released by the Pentagon in 2020 and offered his thoughts on how the CIA might approach the brushes with aerial oddities. He said, you try to ensure that you have as much data as possible in terms of visuals and also different types and maybe technical collection of sensors that you have at the time. Also, I believe it's important to reach out into other environments to find out were there any other type of phenomena at the time that might have in fact created the appearance of the phenomena that you're looking at. Were there some things that were happening on the ground or other types of phenomena that could help explain what seems to be quite a mystery as far as that is there? Or what is there? You really have to approach it with an open mind, but yeah, tell that to Bill Diamond for Christ's sake. But get as much data as possible and get as much expertise as possible brought to bear, he added. Here's Avril Haines, and I don't know who this is, but we're going to find out. Excuse me. In 2021, Avril Haines, director of the National Intelligence, who oversees all 16 U.S. spy agencies, including the FBI and CIA, was speaking at the Our Future in Space event in Washington National Cathedral. During one discussion, Haines was asked about UFOs related to the numerous disturbing reports of late coming from several members of the United States military, as well as several government officials. She says the main issues that Congress and others have been concerned about is safety of flight concerns and counterintelligence issues. What the hell? You let a balloon go over the entire country.
Right.
Said Haines. Always there's also this type of question, is there something else that we simply don't understand, which might come extraterrestrially?
No.
Director Haines added, we're pretty sure that we're not going to get to characterize every single one of these UAP reports in the various categories that we identified because, frankly, we weren't able to understand everything about it. A large portion of that is based on the fact that we don't have a consistent way of reporting this information. Oh, that's perfect. That's probably some funding coming up there. We need to integrate a lot of data that we get. We need to get a better look at, better at collecting information that is useful to us from different sensors that are available to us. There it is again, sensors that are available. And we need to deepen our analysis in these areas, and that's something that doesn't surprise you in the way that we approach our intelligence work.
So Maggie says, so is it possible the reason they haven't disclosed is because they can't admit that they don't know?
Right.
That sounded exactly like what they just said.
Right.
Yeah, just boil it down. Thank you, Maggie.
Yeah, way to cook it to
Next
the core.
time-
That was perfect.
Next time, just bring a sixer and we'll get together. We'll do it. We'll figure all this out.
Well, I think that, that's kind of the scope of what we are doing here is just discussing all this impossibilities
Right.
and saying, look, this stuff
I
is.
know who Milo is. Okay.
Oh, do you? Yeah.
There's an internet link called Milo.
Oh, yeah. That's a neighbor's dog name.
Yep.
Yeah.
So actually, oddly enough, I have a dog named Milo too.
Milo.
Well,
there you go, folks. So that's a counterpoint to Mr. Bill Diamond, SETI boy. And I did like SETI, although I think that SETI is, they're kind of going about it
my God.
using our technological development as their key
Right.
to look for that in the universe. And it's like, well, maybe they came up with different ideas,
Right.
of how to share information.
Yeah.
That didn't include radio waves and things like that.
And a perfect example of different ideas is, well, bacon is bacon, Canadian bacon is ham. But, I digress.
Yeah. Yeah. Justin Goodearth on Rumble says, pay no attention to the Chinese spy balloon, folks.
Right? Yeah. Don't look up. Rachel says, if Bill Diamond was a house paint, he'd be too dull for even the inside of prison cells. God, that'd be painful watching that dry.
Puke green, maybe.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying it could be. But it's very strange all the same. So there you go, folks. That was that article. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you found merit in it. And rest assured, there's more. Because this is the portal, and we're going to dive into the cryptid corner now.
Ew.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh no. Well, I just got a new book by a guy named his studio is called Loft 817, and his name's Chris. I just got his new volume of Myths,
I saw
Monsters,
that. Yeah,
and Cryptids.
I saw that you posted that.
It's freaking awesome.
Oh, very cool.
It's freaking awesome.
Wonderful.
Yup.
Well, there you have it. Russia is more interested in surface-to-air defense and missile defense since the Soviet era, and they have done that.
Apparently not. They're more interested in interfering with our elections than China, too? I don't know. If I remember right, last time I heard, all that stuff was coming from the friggin' Ukraine. But, I don't know. I don't know anything.
We don't know much here.
No, nope.
If Bill Diamond was a diamond, he wouldn't be sharp enough to scratch chalk. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
Because diamond's on one end and chalk is on the other of the Mohs scale.
Rachel's hitting low over here.
Wow.
Rachel, it's okay. Bill's
we're all of like mind.
Yep.
we agree.
No, it's fine. It is true though.
Wow,
I don't know.
We've got some vicious people.
We do. I'm just glad I'm not a heckler coming into this chat room.
Well, that's like when Wes first came in, he's like, "Wow, it's like they have pitchforks and torches." All right. Good night, Deb. Thank you.
Good night, Deb. Great show so far, but I'm off to bed. Good night, Ohana. Much love. Much love to you, Deb. Good night. Thanks for being here. Mm-hmm. Don't mess with me, alien folks. Amen. All right. I got to cough quick. There we go. Go better. Let's get into the cryptids, ladies and gentlemen, because it's that time. And we're going to dig in. Actually, speaking of Wes, we're going to start there.
Oh, there you go. Excellent. Yeah.
Going to start with SasquatchChronicles.com. I like to peruse his listener emails that he posts in the blog. They are exceptional. I'm getting the hiccups.
There was one that you read the other week about the hiker, and that was just amazing. That was a great story.
It was a long one, right?
Yeah, it was rather long, but it was good.
It might have been last week. Might have been. They all kind of blend together after a while.
Yeah, my Wednesdays do. It's right in the middle. Right in the middle of my week. I'm like,
yeah, that's true.
It's hypnagogic.
Hypnagogic. There you go with big syllables again.
Yeah.
Don's rolling the polysyllabic words out here, folks. It's a little disconcerting. All right. Let's get to the next parts, which is the Cryptid Corner. We're going to Sasquatch Chronicles blog. Check out the blog, folks. If you don't already, you're going to find a lot of amazing links and stories over there.
And stuff you probably wouldn't have heard on his show.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously, because that's what it is.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a great posting forum, and Wes works really hard on this. So definitely support his efforts. And if you're looking to become a member of Sasquatch Chronicles, that's where you go to do it. So it's a win-win. You get extra Sasquatch Chronicles every week. Just saying, if you're a fan of the show, which most of us are. Ooh, what the hell did I do?
I don't know.
I just did something wrong. There we go. All right, so this one actually, even though it's a Cryptid Corner, is actually going to be a ghost story that somebody posted over here. We like the ghosts as well, so let's get to this. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, visiting SasquatchChronicles.com, the blog, and we're hitting this one from April 24th.
That's today.
That's today old, folks. It's brand new. A listener writes,
today old.
It's awesome. Today old. I wanted to email you regarding an encounter or more so experience with a ghost/spirit/figure of some sort. It's not Sasquatch or any other cryptid that I'm aware of. However, the fact that I had this experience and so consistently and young has geared my mindsets for my entire life. Before I go into the story, I want to say I've been fascinated with and a true believer in cryptids as a whole, aliens and ghosts/spirits. I'm a true believer that we don't even know half of it when it comes to our world, universe, and all other possibilities.
Yep.
I know for a fact, because of my experience, that anything is possible. And if we're to shy away from or dismiss anything without truly searching for an answer, then we are only shorting ourselves. Very true. Good point. My story begins when I was about 6 or 7 years old. My grandparents lived on a small lake in south central Michigan. They had a fairly large home. It was made out of brick and had a huge living room and dining room. The living room faced both the back door and the lake, depending on which way you were looking. The main door you'd enter the home through when parking in the driveway. So, not the door that led out to the yard/lakefronts was the door I was facing. I was sitting on the couch, and my grandmother and dad were there with me. I remember looking up at the door. The actual door was open, so I would have been looking through the glass storm door, and I saw a black figure walking by, and the figure I always referred to as a woman was cloaked in black with a hood. She looked in my direction very briefly and then looked back straight the way she was walking. Well, this scared me instantly, and I knew it wasn't another human for multiple reasons. No random person would walk by my grandparents' door on their property, and it did not look human. And it certainly gave me a negative feeling as soon as I saw it. I began to cry and go into a scared panic. And I recall my grandma and dad trying to console me and asking what the problem was. I remember telling them that there was a woman outside of the door. However, after my dad looked, there was no one there. Fast forward to the next night or two at our home, which is about a 20-minute drive from where my grandparents lived. My room was down the hall and extended off of our kitchen. My door was on the right if you were coming from the kitchen. On the left, you had the laundry room right across from my room, and then a bathroom. And I always slept with a nightlight on, and my door opened with the laundry room light on. Needless to say, I was afraid of the dark. My parents' bedroom door was directly off the kitchen dining room. Basically, if I came out of my room, turned left, I could get to my parents' room quickly by running a direct line through the kitchen/dining room and then into their room, which I did almost nightly for a while. Well, anyhow, a couple of nights after my initial sighting at my grandparents' house, I was laying in bed. Our house was dark and everyone was in their rooms getting ready to sleep for the night. My bed was just inside my door, so if I were laying in bed, I could see directly out my door and into the hallway. As I said before, I left my door open wide, nightly, and while laying there, the same figure I saw days before walked by my bedroom door. Oh, that's horrible. She did the same motion of looking quickly towards me and then continuing to walk by. I was extremely frightened. I got out of my bed and darted to my parents' bedroom, explaining to them what I saw, and again, in tears, they allowed me to stay in their room. I slept on the floor by their bed. This was a nightly situation, me seeing this figure walk by my door, me running to my parents' room and sleeping on their floor. Eventually, I got to the point in my life where I was a bit older, maybe 8 or 9 years old, and I was routinely seeing this figure almost nightly.
Wow.
I began to become used to it, my fear fading away, and basically began to accept her. I always felt it had a womanly presence. I continued to see her for years, all the way through my elementary school and even middle school. As I became older, high school, she seemed to fade away. I would see her every now and then, but definitely not nightly, not even weekly. As I became older, I really began to dig into and ponder why she was with me, why she chose me. Why did she never engage, only look and continue on her way? Well, I dove into the idea of ghosts, spirits, and the unknown because of this life experience when I was in about 5th grade, heavily researching and pondering through middle school and high school. My family, siblings, parents, and some extended family, and even close friends, knew she existed. They never saw her, but they knew I experienced a presence. They knew I was absolutely terrified as a child, and they heard me continue to recap my encounter as I was growing up. They accepted that I was seeing something. My mother has always chosen to believe that this figure was her lifelong childhood friend who had offed herself not long before I was born. My understanding is that she was supposed to be my godmother, too. I don't know if this figure was her or not, but I do allow my mom to think and feel how she needs and wants in regard to my experience. Eventually, I stopped seeing her altogether, and I graduated high school, went off to college, and got married and became pregnant. Well, at this point, I'm 23 years old and have not seen this figure for years, and one day, a few weeks or so before I had my daughter, Holly, I did see this figure again. I was standing in my bedroom at my townhouse apartment and had just finished working out. I remember saying out loud, "Please do not follow my child." And when I said that, she disappeared. I did not tell my then husband or family about this encounter. I decided to keep it to myself and let it go. I did not want to draw attention to it, and time goes on, and I have my daughter. Her father and I got a divorce when she was about 2 years old, and I moved into a new house. And at this point, Holly's about 4 or 5 years old. I was in the kitchen. It was midday. I'm not 100% certain on the exact time. And my daughter had been playing in her room. Suddenly, she ran out of her bedroom, came up to me, and was visibly startled and crying. I kept asking her if she hurt herself and what happened. Then, with hesitation, I asked her what she saw. My daughter was not aware of anything I had ever seen or my encounters with this black cloaked figure. Obviously, she was very young at this time, and I would never want to scare any child by telling them about my ghost. Anyhow, after asking her what she had seen, she immediately responded, "It was black." And those were the only words that came out of her mouth. My heart sank into my stomach. I remember saying to myself in my head, "Please leave her alone." After that, my daughter has never mentioned seeing anything since. Time goes on, and I started a new relationship, and at this point, it's been about a year or so after my daughter's encounter, and my now husband was staying over, and we had dated a while, and he was great with Holly, and I knew him well. He was not a stranger to me. In fact, we graduated high school together. Needless to say, I trusted him enough to have him around. It was a weekend, and I remember we were getting ready to go to bed. The house was dark. Holly was in bed, and myself and my husband, then boyfriend, and the dog were in the room. I was laying there, and I had this strange sense come over me. I sat up and looked to my left, and as I did this, I noticed that the dog was already looking where I was looking. He also had his ears perked up and was tensing himself in an alert kind of manner. It was then that I noticed this black cloaked figure. Thank you, Flip Dizzies. Very cool. Became a member, dude.
Nice.
Yeah. So the dog sees a figure, notice, or at least, okay. It was then that I noticed this black cloaked figure, seeing that the dog responded to this figure and noticed it, or at least sensed it in some way, was amazing to me, because up until then I had not seen an animal react to the figure. We always had animals growing up, but none of them ever were around when this figure was passing by my room as a kid. It had been years since I personally saw her, way back when I was still pregnant with Holly. And she simply vanished, as she always did. No harm done, no interaction, just a presence, and then gone. It was at this point that I decided she only came around as I got older, when she felt a significant change in my life. Now, I've since given birth to my second child. My husband and 2 girls live in a new home. Coincidentally, all on the same lake where I first saw this figure at my grandparents' house. I saw this figure again while I was pregnant with my second child in this home. I did not feel the need to speak to it, to ask it to leave my second child alone. I just felt it were sort of customary. I'm having a big life change. She came to see me, and she's gone.
There you go. Yeah.
My second daughter, Blakely, is now 2 years old, and I have not seen my ghost since I was pregnant with her. Have you ever had anyone reach out to you with a similar story? I don't walk around telling people about my story, but regardless, I have not ever heard anyone mention anything similar to me or through the internet. I have Googled so many times looking for answers, but have come up short of nothing every time. I've looked into black cloak figures, which have brought up some information, but it never truly fits my personal experience. I don't know. It could be some ancestor checking in on you, following you through your life.
Maybe, yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's all speculation, but I can't say I've never heard of people experience a ghost throughout their lives.
Right.
Certainly that comes up quite a bit, but it's an odd behavior to just be like, I'm here glancing, now I'm going. And I don't know, it's not sinister. It doesn't seem sinister in any way. So
yeah, it seemed pretty calm and regular.
Kind of a sweet presence, I guess, that somebody's looking after you. I would take it as that, I guess, unless you know something else or you get a weird sick feeling from it.
Right.
Being a kid, kids get afraid of things all the time, and
that's what I was thinking when she was said that as she grew older that she started seeing the presence less and less and less.
Right.
But because we were putting our filters in place.
Right.
It's
Could be that.
It's the only way we can work through this world by putting those filters on. Otherwise, I think we'd be pretty much just inundated with so much information and so much stuff that we don't know what to do with.
Right.
That we wouldn't be able to facilitate ourselves anyhow.
Right. Right. Yeah. No, that's true. And even with filters, a lot of us can't facilitate ourselves very well. Yeah. Myself included, but I'm doing my best.
You do great.
Thank you. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think, there certainly is that transition from kids experiencing spirits to kind of outgrowing it. And it might be something to do with the changing brain state from theta to whatever our normal brain state is as adults. That's interesting. But theta state is experienced by children from birth to about 5 to 7 years, and then they transition into that adult state. But theta state is also known as the hypnotic state. So people are very open to anything and everything, and these children are wide open. It's why you can teach a kid like 2 or 3 languages,
right?
Before they're 5, just because they just hoover it all up. So it's pretty intense. Kids learn so quickly. But anyway, very cool story. I wish her the best. I hope she's finding the answer she needs, but I don't think it's anything to be alarmed about. It's just someone cares enough to keep checking on you. So that's a sweet thing, I think. Even though oftentimes we think dark presence got to be evil, but that's a Hollywood thing.
Yeah.
That's a Hollywoodization of, the bad cowboys wear the black hats, the good cowboys wear the white hats, and it's the bad guys dressed in black, good guys dressed in white. It's like, come on. It's such a, I don't know, just a silly stereotype. So don't judge an experience by the fact that it was a dark, dark shadowy entity. That doesn't mean anything. Trust your intuition. Now, not your objective fear at seeing something that you don't know how to process, but try to center yourself and just feel, does it feel evil or is it just something checking me out?
Right.
So, and I think a lot of these stories are that. I think that a lot of these experiences, on the latest podcast, Chris McKinnon and I had a great conversation, and he's like, even if a cup gets thrown across the room, don't think that it's always an aggressive thing. Just think of it as, spirits have, only very limited measure of ways to show you they're there. And so sometimes maybe they didn't know it would go that far and smash, Maybe it wasn't enraged like, oh, screw you. Maybe it was just like, hey, watch this.
Yeah, it's like the cat on the counter that's pushing the glass off. Oh, I didn't mean to knock it off.
Yeah, it's like...
I don't know my own strength.
Yeah, and then they look at you like,
What'd you do that for?
What are you looking at? I'm just playing. Adults have brain state is 40% alcoholic. Or alcohol, Rachel says. It could be our adult brain state. It's because of the children's indoctrination at school. Yeah. Well, I don't know that it's so much school. It's just our Hollywoodization of things. And the fact that, Hollywood portrays all this stuff as sinister, dark and stuff because it sells tickets and it creates these really extraordinary narratives that they can, put together, like The Conjuring and all that stuff based on Ed and Lorraine Warren's experiences, and Chris McKinnell's as well. So listen to the latest podcast if you haven't, because yeah, he was there. He was at all these major investigations. He was lead investigator on the haunting in Connecticut one. Yeah, that was his deal. So anyway, oftentimes we jump to these conclusions based on our, very, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, the very binary ideas of good and bad. There's good and there's bad. Well, the spirit world is just as dynamic as the human world. There's some people that can be absolute dicks, and then they can be wonderful people. And it's possible that's, very much the same for spirits. Like, some people they may not like very well, but other people they might just love. And so you might get 2 very different experiences in a haunted location just based on the fact that, you're not the same people. You're different people coming in, and they're In many cases, and in several cases at least, we can only assume what these spirits are, but, maybe they were people. And the only difference between spirits and people is that they're not encased in meat suits. They're still people.
Edgar.
Yeah, they're not wearing an Edgar suit. That's right. So anyway, let's get to the next one, dealing with the Sasquatch from Sasquatch Chronicles blog. This one's also from Today Old. It says, I watched it for a few minutes. A listener from Pennsylvania writes, I'm the youngest of 6 siblings and was born in September 1966. I have 3 brothers and 2 sisters, and we live in an old farmhouse that my father slowly renovated at the time. We lived at this location for many years, at least 15. On our property, we had multiple varieties of fruit trees. We had pears, mulberries, black cherry, sour cherry, and more apple trees just over the property line at our neighbor's yard just to the south. I have fond memories of eating fruit from the trees as they come into season. My mother, however, was never happy that we'd have mulberry fights,
No doubt.
often ruining our clothes.
Oh, I was thinking about pie.
Oh, I like pie.
I like pie.
To give a brief description, our house was almost at the top of a mountain, not really, large hill country. The house was east facing and was on the west side of Mount Zion Road. To the north of our property was several acre self-sufficient small farm that was owned by a brother and sister family group, most likely Mennonite, I presume, looking back now. On that farm, they grew a large plot of feed corn, and closer to their house, they grew other garden foods, and there was smaller fields scattered around the area, but also grew feed corn. Directly across the other side of 2000 Mount Zion Road was a lane that ran west to east. We often went across the main road in that direction, down the lane, exploring. The area had multiple streams on both sides of Mount Zion that flowed down the mountain, just beyond the tree line of the forested areas. I remember I often drank from them, without worries. Without worries on different times. The lane headed east about a half mile back into the thickets of woods, and there were other homes were located. Along that lane was long sections of hand-stacked stone farmers' walls. Along that wall, there were also apricot trees. Oh, that sounds like a great area. On the large section of the north side, as you're heading eastbound lane, there was an old crabapple orchard that was no longer farmed or picked annually. Mostly it had gone back to nature. The locals and us kids often took the fruit and ate it at will with no worry of trespass. The grass was the only thing that was cut between the rows of trees using a tractor with a mower deck. And on the other side was a neighbor's house. And they had an open green pastures lined with electric fence to control the steers in which they raised. My sighting happened while I was out playing like we all did back then, unsupervised, climbing trees, catching crayfish, flipping over rocks, looking for salamanders, and whatever else we could get into. On this day, I was returning home for dinner. My mother had a handbell that she used to call us in from outside when dinner was just about ready. The pre-cell phone decade, yeah. My mom just used to yell, "Come on, food's ready!" God, her voice could carry. Yeah. It was early evening and just before dusk, and I was walking down the hill through the old crabapple orchard where I was playing and exploring. I was alone. As like most years, the trees were heavy with fruit and no one was picking. The canopies of all the trees were draping towards the ground. And as I walked down the hill through the knee-deep tall grass cut through. Tall grass covered cut through. I don't know what that means. I walked past row after row of apple trees. And as I came on each clearing or opening to the rows, I, like most do, looked down each row of trees into the row, and it was just often typical that white-tailed deer were out there at that time in the orchard. As I approached the row of fruit trees that was 3 to 4 rows deep from the lane that led me to our house, I looked down that row, through the opening clearing between the rows of trees, and what I saw 50 to 60 yards away, the terrain of the orchard was slightly rolling, meaning that the thing I saw was partially obscured by the terrain, meaning the crest of the hill. that fell away. At first, I didn't know what I was looking at.
Ruh-roh.
There we go. I gulped that again. I don't know. I still get these itchy coughs every once in a while. There, I think I got it. Yikes. I'm sure at some point I thought it was a bear or a large dog. Or something along those lines. And it was a dark ball or mass of hair hunched over and facing away from me. Its position was just outside of the canopy of those large crabapple trees. I stood there transfixed, watching. I could see from that distance that it was probably eating the fruit that was naturally shed from the tree canopy. As I stood there locked in, watching the large mass of dark brown black fur undulate and move in the process of possibly eating, it seemed like 5 minutes, but in reality it was probably only 45-second event. But like most people say at the time, that time seems to slow down. That may be a result of shock or confusion as the human brain attempts to categorize what you're seeing. Then, in a smooth motion, it stood up slightly. Not really completely erect, but just enough to reach a long arm with a hand up to the top of the fruit tree canopy to grasp and pull down a big bundle of ripe apples. In that moment, my perception changed that whatever I was looking at was not a bear, nor a dog.
Nope.
I saw it primarily from the back, and I couldn't tell you if it had a crest on its head or if it was completely rounded from my point of view. I did see the large traps on either side of its head that tapered into the shoulders, the trapezius muscles. The arm was very long from elbow to wrist. There was fringes of dangling hair that came from the bottom of the forearm. And at the end of that arm was a long-fingered hand. And when it did the motion to pick the apples, it was very fluid. It was a motion with intention, meaning it actually might have thought, I'm going to pick that bundle next. I watched for a few moments longer when my fight or flight kicked in and I ran home for dinner. I know I must have said something to my mom about it. I always confided in her when I had questioned her doubts as a young boy, and she probably, like all mothers do, calm me down and help me move through what I saw emotionally, very quickly, putting the thoughts of scary things out of my mind. Moms are really good at that sort of thing, and she had 5 other children that she honed that skill on through the years before I came along.
No doubt.
Yeah, that's still pretty wild. That's a great sighting, though. He saw him a squatch, Don.
A squat and squatch.
He saw a squat and squatch. Yes, he did. Wow, that's pretty hardcore. Okay, so I do want to move on to. There's more from Sasquatch Chronicles, but that's the last one we're going to read tonight because I'm looking for. I'm looking for another. Here it is. This is for Don.
Oh God.
Yes, sir. It's time to go to Phantoms and Monsters, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lon Strickler's site, and it's a whole host of odd stories and shenanigans. But Lon's been at this for a long time, and he's compiled an incredible catalog of experiences and sightings of the weird and unusual. So head over to phantomsandmonsters.com. You can also find out about the research efforts that they do looking into many cryptids around the country and other phenomena.
You mean like little ones?
Big ones, little ones, all the in-between ones.
I thought you said minis. Oh, you said
Many. And also check out Lon's published works. Check out Phantoms and Monsters Radio. It's right here on YouTube. And you can check out his site, his shows, and follow Lon. He's really an incredible guy. He's been on the show a few times. We just had a great conversations. So this one is from phantomsandmonsters.com, ladies and gentlemen. There's the heading. Here's the article. Pickens, West Virginia couple freaked out by 4 black-eyed kids in a local park.
Well, yeah, that's almost a gag.
It is. I think that might count as one. Let's see what this says. A couple are out for a night in a local Pickens, West Virginia park when they're approached by 4 black-eyed kids. What would you do, Don?
I would not stand there and be approached by them.
Yeah. How would you know, though, if they're looking down? You'd be like, what are these kids doing?
All that hate.
Yeah. The couple freaks because of the bizarre situation, and it has affected the couple since.
You think?
I received the following account. I encountered the black-eyed kids over a decade ago in rural Appalachia.
What a seemingly spot.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff in Appalachia for sure. This has always disturbed me. My boyfriend and I keep in touch to this day, but we've never brought it up again. We were at a local state park sort of place in Pickens, West Virginia, between 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. And I remember we were parked alongside the woods, and there were some picnic tables. It was pretty desolate, and we were technically trespassing as we're both 17 years old. And what we were doing there, well, you can leave it to your imagination. Whoa!
They were stealing picnic baskets.
Hey, boo boo. All right. As our
stuffing one.
You were packing a lunch.
It's a light snack.
I can't believe I said that. All right. Comes out. Sometimes my filter is not really engaged either.
Sometimes it has to do with Planet 9, that mysterious thing out there.
All right. Yeah. As our curfews are approaching and we were finishing up our time together, I'll bet you were, we experienced a very ominous feeling. He was in the driver's seat preparing to start the car and pull off, and the car doesn't start. We sort of laughed it off as it wasn't the first time and just talked. Suddenly, to the right passenger side where I was sitting, we see faint lights coming out of the woods. The ominous feeling intensified. Emerging from the woods, there are 4 children, and they're younger than us, appearing to be 8 to 11 years old. It was very dark, but I can say that their eyes were black, each and one of them. And they were not normal. They didn't belong. The cabins at the park were not occupied. They weren't even getting rented out as it was autumn. And we're miles from the park's hotel, and there were no adults. They were absolutely out of place. What were the lights? The closest thing I can compare them to was glow sticks. Is if they had opened a package of those novelty glow sticks that include bracelets, necklaces, or wands, but it wasn't like they were having fun or goofing off. They just stopped, stood there, and stared at us. Ooh.
Let me in.
He tried asking what they were doing here. Were they lost? Where are their parents? But no response. The oldest looking boy, a bit heavy set with a gray hoodie on, approached the vehicle just in the front of where the passenger headlight corner would be. My friend started really freaking out at this moment. He locked the doors and was like, "Hell no, we gotta go." Eventually, the car started. The children don't move, and the kid stays put in front of the car. My friend eventually yells to the kid, "I'm gonna run you over." The boy slowly backed away, raised his arm, and pointed at us as we were leaving. I didn't look back.
I wouldn't either.
Just, what the hell? What are they doing? What do they want? You know, they didn't even ask for a ride or a phone or nothing. That's a weird one. They just came out of the woods and just stood there. That's, I think, even almost creepier, right?
It is. I would say so.
Yeah.
But, when they said something about the lights, yeah, that kind of threw me too because, first of all, can they see in the dark? I mean,
yeah, who knows?
I mean, are they in grayscale? What
They can see fear, I think, is what it is.
That might be true, yeah.
They have true fear vision.
It's like a beacon of light calling to them.
They linger in the darkness.
Come to the light. Zap. Oh, there's a trap now, isn't it?
What?
Don't go to the light, Carrie Ann.
Yeah, it turns out it's a big moth trap.
All right, exactly.
Yeah, Carrie Ann fell into the light. Try to tell her. No, that's it. All right, so, Rachel, it may be because the technology to ferment fruit is too sophisticated. There's abandoned homesteads with a few apple trees on the land. You'd think they'd harvest the apples. But would they leave some on the ground to ferment?
That was an interesting point because I was thinking about that when you were reading that story about, he was eating them off the ground,
Yeah.
And it's like, well, the ones on the ground are usually, they're still good, but they're, they're going quickly. Why wouldn't he just reach up and grab a fresh one? Well, maybe because he was tying one on. Because I've watched the woodpeckers, my elderberry bushes, and oh my God, they are funny.
I tell you what, it's like a moonshiner's mash.
Mm-hmm.
Nom nom nom. Yep. Get a good buzz on, and then you eat the fresh fruit. Oh, that could be, Justin. I just read your comment that you don't want me to read, but yeah, I gotcha. Wouldn't surprise me, man. There's all kinds of shenanigans out there. We're going to move on to the next one, and this is... Are you filming my leg?
No, I'm just holding it. I'm looking to see what Justin said.
Up here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to go back to Phantoms and Monsters for the next one here, and we'll see how we're doing for time.
Okay.
Here we go. Phoenix Man encounters tall, skinny insectoid in desert. Now, I've many times been on the record saying I think about the creepiest cryptid that I could run into was some kind of man-sized bug thing.
Oh, gosh.
Because automatically you don't know, well, is this an intelligent bug? Or is this the ones that just, I'm going to eat stuff, and that's what I live for? Like the little ones that we have. They're not thinking a lot. They're just going for, this is what I need. Well, I need protein.
Right.
There's a protein thing walking by, you know. I don't want to be the protein.
Right.
I that's not on my agenda. So that's what I think of when I see these things. Like, well, is this, the super advanced extraterrestrial kind of insectoid, or is this some kind of subterranean, large insect species from the Triassic period or something that dug its way up?
And you said it's a Phoenix Man encounters tall, skinny insectoid. It just reminds me of that time I was talking to Ted Lohman, and he said, yeah, one time in like 95, I had this mantis person sitting in my front room, and he had something that was like a modern day laptop in 1995.
Wow.
And he was communicating through that. I didn't even think to ask him about that situation. I was just talking to him about the Phoenix Lights, because that's where he's from.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, now this brings up, and I just kick myself in the butt every time.
I know, that was such an opportunity.
Gosh, yeah.
All right, well, let's see what's going on in this story. It says, Phoenix Man in Arizona is walking out in the nearby desert late at night. He sat on his truck. A tall, skinny insectoid walked up to him. Later, the incident details become more strange. As if that's not strange enough.
Yeah, no doubt. Wait,
there's a big insect here. You grab the off.
Right.
All right, so let's see. The following information was referred to me. It's 2015. I was in Southwest USA outside of Phoenix, Arizona, in the desert camping. It's about 2 a.m., and I was still in the truck cab eating pistachios and tossing the shells out the open window. Huge full moon behind me, and at about 2 o'clock in the sky, I was watching it in the rearview mirror. The moon was so bright I could read by its light. All at once, a tall being walked about 6 feet behind my truck and stopped. I turned around and looked out the open back window, and it was about 8 feet tall. Good God. Very skinny with long arms and elbows below its waist. A foot-long skinny neck, oval head, and what looked like a 4-foot beard or tube hanging from its lower face.
It's called a proboscis.
Yeah, that's where it sucks your life away.
Yep.
I couldn't make out the feet or hands. It was walking like it was struggling. Like if you walk in a swimming pool with the resistance of the water. Well, as it stopped, it barely moved its shoulders, but that freakishly long neck turned the big head at me. I don't know if it saw me in the truck. Bet you it saw you in the truck. I froze, and it then turned its head forward and continued walking. It was bizarrely thin, like an insect. I got scared thinking it's so thin and it's hungry. I took off after it passed my truck, camping equipment in the back of my truck, flying to the side of the dirt road as I drove. I went back 4 months later in the daylight and found the pile of pistachio shells, so I knew the exact spot where I was, and I saw nothing unusual. I drove around a bit. It was a nice day, and found a place that looked good to hiking spot, and as I got out of the truck, maybe about 3 in the afternoon, I heard diesel engines struggling to dig like backhoes, earth movers, dump trucks, dumping a load and banging the scooper to unload all of the dirt. Trucks backing up with the beep, beep, beeping sounds, but there was nothing around. I was in the middle of nowhere on a dirt road with no other cars around for miles. I couldn't figure out where the digging noise was coming from, but wondered I got on my hands and knees and listened to the ground. It was coming from under the desert landscape. I was standing on where the digging was coming from.
Oh.
I stood up, and I saw two very shiny white pickup trucks facing the front of my truck, onyx black windows. They were so shiny, the sun reflecting on them hurt my eyes. Driving in the desert, piles of dust would be on a truck, and these looked like they just came off a showroom. Well, I got scared. I guess they saw me. Yeah, you think? I guess they saw me listening to the ground, and I suppose I wasn't supposed to hear that sound. Well, as I got back in my truck, I saw two more white trucks, exactly the same behind me, facing me. I drove off thinking if they were following me, looking if they were following me, but they weren't. As I got to the nearest road, my heart sank as there were two more of the same trucks waiting for me in the intersection, facing each way. So whichever way I was going, one truck would be right behind me. Well, as I got on the road, the truck behind me followed me right on my bumper, and I was going 90 miles per hour, and the truck was right behind me. The other truck then was trying to pass me. Well, I was swerving 2 lanes to keep it from passing me, and I came up to an exit to some buildings and decided to give it a shot and exited. At the same time, the two trucks slowed down, made a U-turn, and went back. I continued to note how shiny the two trucks were. My eyes were hurting from the sun reflecting on them, and the one behind me kept upright on my bumper, and the other sped up to overtake me, but slowed when I swerved both lanes. Oh, that's kind of the picture of the thing. That's creepy. And it says they could have taken me out in the deserts and no one would have found me or my truck, but they didn't. Did they want to kill me on the road? I don't know, but I was terrified to go home thinking they'd be there. But I never saw them again and never went back. My thought is that I discovered a government installation being built, maybe for national security, so I keep that location to myself.
Yep.
It might be very important to keep their, excuse me. It might be very important to keep their location unknown. My other thought, why chase me when that giant insect-like being was walking around a few months prior about 4 miles from where I heard the digging sound? Is that location ET human government? I'm still scared stiff. Not talked about it at all till lately. I reported my 2 sightings to MUFON. I did not tell them about the site where the digging was going on. I'm very curious what's going on out there, but I won't return.
Yeah, because you'll get Schradered.
Schneidered.
Schneidered.
Yeah,
Yes.
Schrader is
Dave.
Darkness Radio and Paranormal 60 podcast.
Now,
Yeah.
who is he now?
Huh?
No.
What did you say?
Who is he?
Oh, who's that guy?
Who is that guy?
That's Dave Schrader right
Wow.
there. Yeah, good guy, Dave. Dave's turned into a great friend, actually. We correspond kind of regularly.
Nice.
Yeah, he's been giving me some ideas and things. So, but let's look at the time. I don't know what our time looks like, Don.
Oh, we got about 10 minutes.
10 minutes, Don. What can we do with 10 minutes?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Justin Gooder just figured out you could pop out YouTube and Rumble and put them next to each other, the chats.
Yeah.
So now you can chat to both of them.
It's that Waves of the Future. This one's short enough. We can read this one. This one is a weird one, and it has to do with Belize, of all places, from phantomsandmonsters.com. And, yeah, interesting. I've never heard of such a thing, but it's a different kind of cryptid, folks.
That's true.
This is from Sunday, April 21st of this year. Does a hyena-crocodile hybrid cryptid stalk the streets of Belize City? I'm telling you, maybe there's lots of weird things in the jungles that people don't really know about.
I just Belize I don't know.
I believe I don't know either. Let's check it out. A Belize City resident contacted me about a horrible-looking creature that is said to roam the dark streets at night, killing pets and scaring others. Any idea what this is? Hell no.
Nope.
I'm going to go with the big nope. Don?
Yeah, nope. You got me on that one too.
Yep, we just don't know. All right.
Tommy Cooper says it's unbelievable. Is that Tommy Cooper from?
Yeah, Cryptovania.
Yep,
You got
Cryptovania.
it.
Yep.
Ian Jason, yep.
Nice.
Good to see you, Tommy. Thanks for coming in again, brother. All right, so, hello, sir. I once saw something that terrified me. It was not a crawler. I was in Belize City, Belize, and it looked like some kind of horrible hyena-crocodile hybrid. I saw it from a distance, about 50 yards away, but clearly, and for an extended moment with a park bench for size reference. Adults had no idea what I was talking about, but the kids enthusiastically confirmed that there was a monster that kept killing street dogs that they played with, and that if you had a dog you liked, make sure you brought him off the streets at night. For decades, it was a true and honest mystery to me. Chupacabra? I don't know. Then, like last week, I saw a picture of a hairless, melanistic, spectacled bear, and like, that's my monster. It makes no sense that one would be in Belize City, where they only live in isolated regions, nowhere near Belize, but still in South America. But it makes way more sense than me having seen some kind of extraterrestrial goat vampire. A very believable scenario to me would be that it was a legitimate zoo or circus animal that had been released out into the jungle for fear of other animals getting sick, and then it naturally entered a city to find a way to live. Scavenging garbage, I encountered dogs, and being a spectacled bear, it defended its garbage, realizing that dogs were a pretty readily available calorie source in the process.
Yep.
Anyway, my point is that there's got to be some kind of real thing behind the mystery. Yeah, I don't know. He didn't really say how big it was next to the park bench, though. He said there's a park bench for scale, but was it big as a park bench? Was it smaller? What did it look like? We don't know. So, you be the judge. But a hyena-crocodile hybrid, I guess that would be this picture, sans the...
That looks more like a giant anteater.
Yeah, I was thinking kind of the same thing. You're right. Yeah, but it does have these weird thorny protrusions. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, folks. But you be the judge. I don't know, but I will say there's things all over this world that we don't know.
Not at all.
We just don't know. So there's the story, and we're sticking to it.
Yep.
You know what else we're sticking to?
Timeline.
The clock, because we're about at, I guess it's about 10 minutes left. It's 8:46 now. Was that a minute story? Or did you just get the time wrong?
No, my time was wrong.
Oh, okay.
But that was a 3-minute story, so I was only wrong by about a minute.
Let's see how long this one is.
He can't math.
I don't math real well, but I'm going to read you another story, though, from Phantoms and Monsters. And this one comes from April 20th, 2024. This one has to do with Bigfoot. We're gonna end on the big guy.
Sweet.
Bigfoot chases and follows couple home in rural northern Minnesota. Surprisingly, how often that happens. These Bigfoot seem to have no problem following you, even if you're in a car.
Isn't that kind of where you're from? Is northern?
No, I'm from southeastern Minnesota.
Oh, southeastern. I'm totally wrong.
Along the Mississippi. So yeah, very different area, but the northern woods are very conifer-like, like up here. A Minnesota couple was driving home at night, and they noticed that an ugly bear was closely following their car, even though they were driving at the speed limit. What the hell? They later encountered the beast at home.
Oh, wow. It followed them, yeah.
Yeah. This is about a Bigfoot that we encountered in northern Minnesota near the Canadian/U.S. border on the night of July 14th, 2023. So just, a little over a year ago. My boyfriend and I were coming back from work, and it's pretty dead 2-lane road. There's never really much traffic, so we were just driving slow and telling each other about work. And in the corner of my eye, I see what I thought was maybe a bear, and I said, "Hey, look, I see a bear." We were going about 45 miles per hour, so he looked, and he got kind of weird-faced, and he told me, "It doesn't look like a bear. If it's one hell of an ugly bear." We laughed and drove off. Later, we were almost home, and we noticed this ugly bear had been following our car. And let me remind you, we're now doing about 55 miles per hour, and it was easily following about 10 feet behind us. What? That's fast. I got worried because we had to turn up ahead, which meant we had to slow down, and this bear could get to our car. Well, I was terrified. I told my boyfriend to take a sharp turn and pray we didn't go into the river. We didn't, and we're now on the gravel road to our place, and the bear was gone. We made it home, and we got inside, and we went to bed to watch television. About 2 hours later, I went outside to grab my keys because I'd left them in the car, and while near the car, I hear something to the left of me, behind the house. We have a lot of wildlife out here, so it doesn't really scare me, but this animal sounded big. I thought maybe it was a bear, so I hurried inside. Well, I find my boyfriend wide-eyed, and he tells me, I just saw Bigfoot. Let me just say that he does not believe in cryptids. He makes fun of me for being interested in aliens. So I believed him, especially when he started to tear up. He was so scared, and I didn't know what to do. I told him, lie down, turn on your favorite movie while I go lock the doors. When I went back to look out the front door while locking it, it was standing right there in the tree line, looking right at me. It could see me for sure. The lights were on and everything, and I pretended I didn't see it, but when I looked again, it was gone. My boyfriend and I have not seen it since that day.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a creepy thing.
Right.
It's like, where do you live? I just want to see. And that's what it did, apparently.
There it goes, yeah.
There it goes. And just like the 2-hour show, Don.
Right, yeah.
There it goes, because it's over. Ladies and gentlemen, it's over. We did a whole show. Did you have a good time, Don?
I had a good time.
Yeah?
Yep. I was thinking about, though, when they turned onto the gravel road, they said, and they were doing like 30 down the gravel road, and they didn't see the bear anymore. Well, I wouldn't have been 10 feet behind them at that point anyhow, because they're tearing down a gravel road. I'd be like, I'll wait for it to settle for a second here.
Do you remember Adam we used to work with?
Adam, yeah. I saw him about 2 months ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, I see
okay.
him every now and then.
Well, great guy.
Yeah.
Well, I went once to his house, and he had two four-wheelers. So he's like, hey, you want to come ride four-wheelers? I'm like, yeah, I'd like to ride four-wheelers. That'd be fun.
Oh, boy.
So it was really dry summer, and I don't know anything of this place. It's near the Farragut State Park area. So we're riding, and I'm following him, and he's kicking up dust everywhere. And I'm like, oh, my God. You know, I got sunglasses on, but I had to put, like, my shirt up as a bandana so that I wouldn't die of asphyxiation.
Right.
We got done, and no kidding, I was powdered. My whole body was powdered.
Right.
It's like, what happened to you? And I was like, I was following you. What do you mean? What happened to me? I couldn't breathe. I was caked in powdered road. And it was just like I'd hit, and these big clouds would come off. And I'm like, blah, blah, blah. So.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Pigpen from.
Yeah, I was Big Ben from Charlie Brown. Yeah. Peanuts. Great show, Karen says. I even listen while driving. Oh, very cool, Karen.
Rachel gets it right. Says, one more Bill roast. If you order Bill Diamond from Wish, you get an actual Bill Diamond.
You get an actual bill.
Yeah, Bill. Yeah, true enough. Yeah, you owe us money.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
don't know who this Bill guy is, but I hate him.
He didn't make many fans on the show tonight, Don.
He did not.
No, I don't think the Bill Diamond fan club's going to be up in any numbers because of exposure.
And I'm pretty sure Rachel would be the point of contact for the Bill Diamond.
Might want to find out his mailing information.
Kind of like that dickhead, that guy last week, the cheap seats.
Oh, yeah.
How dumb do you have to be to put your address in your YouTube?
Oh, I know. Yeah, that guy's really working on about 3 brain cells. And if you didn't see that one, we don't do it often because we just don't get many crappy comments. But
or at least nobody's brave enough to do it.
Yeah, because they get blasted on the show.
I'll make you famous.
Yeah. Wow, whatever do you mean, Ike? Perhaps we should have a spelling contest. But yeah, we blasted his really crappy comments on the cheap seats. It's comments from the cheap seats. So watch last Wednesday's show if you want to check that out. It was fun. It was fun to kind of dust that off again. We don't get them much, but when we get them, God, we like to.
I like dusting my thing off.
Yeah. Okay.
Things off.
Okay. If it's collecting dust, you got bigger problems.
Oh yeah, make a T-shirt covered with text of Bill roasts. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure how big that fan club would be to
You
get
know
the
what?
T-shirts,
You know
though.
what though? But we can make a Tales from the Cheap Seats and put him on there, just as a guest star. You
And we'll
know?
just have to get his picture.
Yeah. No.
Do some AI edits.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Give him buck teeth and alfalfa hair.
Start his search for intelligence in the mirrh.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
My.
Yeah, there you go. So,
Gazing
guys,
into those deep wells of the empty soul.
the abyss of his intelligence quotient. Yeah. If his IQ were 10 points lower, he'd be a tree.
Oh wow, that's being mean to trees, man.
Yeah, probably.
That's like wow. It's like maybe more of a tardigrade.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up for us, guys. Hope you had a good time. Did you have a good time, Don?
I did have a good time.
Okay. And thank you all for joining us. Please keep spreading the word about the portal. Watch for the podcast. Those are always out there. Again, this week's episode is Chris McKinnell, who is the grandson of Ed and Lorraine Warren,
Yep.
and he is the head of the Warren Legacy Foundation. I had a great discussion with him, even from the mountaintop village in South America that he's in.
Somewhere in Costa Rica having really good coffee.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's way up there too.
Yeah.
It was like I was so impressed that we could even have a video conversation to begin with,
Right.
but it actually held together pretty good. The sound quality is a little bad, but
Well, yeah.
I mean, all things considered, it was awesome. But
Right.
you know, just when you compare it to, you know, other calls and interviews, but the information was epic, and Chris is such a nice guy. So if you haven't heard that episode, he and I have a great discussion about all things paranormal, his background, his experience growing up Warren, which was pretty neat, and just a wonderful guy. So I have to get him back on.
Yeah.
He was just such a personable person. And so I hope you guys check it out. And check out the investigation at the Davenport Hotel. If you haven't, we've certainly put a lot of love into that. We got other ones coming, but we want you guys to, you know, give it as much traction as you can. Share these shows out. Let people know about the portal, because you guys really are the advertising arm of the Paranormal Portal.
True enough.
So all that we've grown and become is largely thanks to all of you. So thank you guys for the love and support in helping with our dream.
There you go.
Great time, Brent, says Taipan over in Rumble. Thank you, brother. Big pretty rabbit hole amongst many others. Oh yeah, Justin, you are an explorer of all things, brother. Very good guy, Justin Goodearth. He's been a friend of ours for a long time.
Yes, he has.
Great show as always, guys. Have a
Thank
great
you.
night. Thank you, Justin. Appreciate it. And thank you all. Don, anything in closing?
Just remember, if you want your Paranormal Portal gear, check the
Description.
links down below in the description. Use code OURFRIENDS, OURFRIENDS, Our Friends, for a
Yes.
15% discount.
Absolutely. Are we going to play the music? What music?
What music? Which one?
Just the credit music.
Oh, well, we'll get there. Yeah, we'll get to the credit.
Tommy's like, I gotta get to bed. No, I'm just kidding, Tommy. Come on, you guys keep talking. So anyway, guys, we love you guys. Thank you so much. Remember, we love you all. Be good, be kind, be nice. Take care of each other. Help each other out. Find the magic in every day, and remember to laugh as much as you can. And we'll be back. I'll be back on Friday with Sheldon, and maybe Saturday with Jimmy. We'll see.
There you go.
All right, guys, that's it. I'm done, and have a wonderful night.
Stick a fork in these buns. I'm done.
He said fork, just for the record.
That's true.
Good night, everybody.
It's not a Planet 9. Good night.